Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hello everyone. Hello Miss Ruiz. Let me introduce myself. My name is Ayu Dwi Wandirah. You can call me Ayu. I am a fourth semester student of Pamulang University. In this video, I would like to present the essays and theories contained in the play The Zoo Story. Here I will explain through the PowerPoint that I have made, in which there are several slides that will explain the synopsis, issues, and the theory of issues, and the dialogue text which describe the issues and theories. The first slide explains the synopsis of the play The Zoo Story. The second slide explains the issues in the play The Zoo Story. The third slide explains the theory of the issues contained in the play The Zoo Story. The first slide is the dialogue text which describes the issues and theories. Immediately enter into the synopsis explanation on the first slide. This drama tells the story of two men who meet at the zoo on Sunday afternoon. The man who was sitting in the zoo reading a book was named Peter, and the man who came to him was named Jerry. These two men have very different backgrounds. Peter is a man from a high social class and already has a family, children, and works in the publishing field. Meanwhile, Jerry is a man who comes from a low social class, has no family, friends, or job. Jerry came over to Peter and begged Peter so that Peter would listen to Jerry's limp about his being at the zoo. Peter, who had obeyed Jerry's wish to listen to Jerry's, suddenly told Jerry about his life, which made Peter distressed. At that time, when Peter wanted to leave, Jerry then did something to Peter that was beyond Peter's expectation. In this drama, there are several issues that characterize the drama The Zoo Story. The first issue is the most visible, namely social. These issues arise from the two main characters, Jerry and Peter. They have very different lives. Jerry, who lives in a poor economic situation and has no one as a friend to whom he complains, tends to live an individualistic life, while Peter, who lives in a very good economic situation, Peter also has a small family that is very dear to him. The second issue is homosexual. These issues arose when Jerry became a victim of sexual harassment by landlady, the woman who owns the rented room he occupies. The sexual harassment becomes even more painful because Jerry is a homosexual who has no desire or attraction to women. The third issue is psychological. These issues can be seen from a character named Jerry who has a bad psychological condition, seen from his action that use Peter as Jerry's vehicle to commit suicide, even though at the time Peter was already willing to listen to the complaints Jerry was experiencing in his life, but Jerry's good intentions were actually taken advantage of by Jerry. The third slide is a theory that addresses the issues. The first theory is social theory by Max Weber. Max Weber's social action, where action should be said to be a social activity when the action is truly directed at another person. The second theory is queer theory by Italian feminist and film theorist Teresa de Lauretis. It's a theory that discusses the uncertainty of a person's identity because it is not a fixed thing. In interpreting identity, it can be determined by interpreting lesbian thought, performativity, cycle and appearance performativity, and sexual activity performativity. The third theory is theory of psychology of psychoanalysis by Sigmund Freud. Psychoanalysis is a branch of science developed by Sigmund Freud and his followers as a study of human psychological function and behavior. At first, the term psychoanalysis was only used in connection with Freud, so that psychoanalysis and Freud's psychoanalysis had the same meaning. The third slide, the first slide explains the dialogue statement that supports these issues and theories. The first of of social issues is when Jerry said, "On a sun-drenched Sunday afternoon like this, who better than a nice married man with two daughters and a dog?" Peter shook his head. "No, two dogs?" Peter shook his head again. "No dogs." Peter shook his head sadly. "No. Oh, that's a shame. But you look like an animal man. Cats?" Peter nodded his head. "Ruefully, cat. But that can't be your idea." "No, sir. Your wife and daughters?" Peter nodded his head. "Is there anything else I should know?" Peter said. He was clear his throat. "There are two per kids, one for each of my daughters." The dialogue excerpts show the social life between Jerry and Peter. Peter is surrounded by his children, wife, and pets, while Jerry lives alone. Dialogue statement 2. When Jerry said, "No, I wonder if I said that I never see the little ladies more than once. I've never been able to have sex with or how is it put? Make love to anybody more than once. Once that is, oh wait, for a week and a half, when I was 15 and I hang my head in shame that puberty was late. I was a homosexual. I mean, I was queer. Very fast, queer, with bells ringing, banners shaking in the wind, and for just 11 days I met at least twice a day with the park superintendent's son, a Greek boy whose birthday was the same as mine, except he was a he was a year older. I think I was very much in love, maybe just with sex, but that was the gist of a very special hotel, wasn't it? And now, oh, do I love the little ladies? Really, I love them. For about an hour. The dialogue quote depicts Jerry never having sex with an opponent, and he admits that he is a homosexual and he is weird. The third dialogue statement uh, of psychological issues. With a rush, he charged Peter and imposed himself on the knee. When Tabitha said, "For just a, just moment," complete silence. Jerry impaled on the knife at the end of Peter's still firm arm. Then Peter screams, "Pull away," leaving the knife in Jerry. Jerry is motionless on point. Then he too screamed, and it must be the sound of the infuriated and fatally wounded animal. With the knife in him, he stumbles back to the bench that Peter had vacated. He crumbles there sitting, facing Peter, his eyes wide in agony, his mouth open. When Peter said, whispering, "Oh my God, oh my God, oh my God," Peter repeats this word many times, very rapidly. Jerry is dying. But now his expression seems to change. His fear relaxes, and while his voice varies sometimes rent with pain, for the most part the scene removed from his dying, he smiled. Jerry said, "Thank you, Peter. I mean that now, thank you very much." In my opinion, the dialogue quotation is about Jerry's psychological disorder, who suddenly had suicidal thoughts, which used Peter as bait so that he could kill himself. The conclusion from the foregoing suggests that Jerry's loner character had so many problems in his life. It left him with a mental decision to commit suicide, and Peter's character is trusting in others that he is so easily fooled. The lesson to be learned from this play, from Peter's character, we must never be so trusting of others as we know them, because we never know what they will do behind our back. And from the character of Jerry we learned not to be too shut off social shut off of social life, because we are social creatures who will need the help of others. That's all for the presentation from me. Thank you for your attention. If there is a leak in my presentation, please you can add with other reference. However, if there is a benefit in my presentation, please share it with friends who need this information. Thank you and see you. Bye.